Welcome to my channel. These last few days have been momentous, for lack of a better term. And a lot of words have been slung around. And I've been accused of things on my channel that are not true. And so I'm making this video to address all of this, and then once we're done with that, I'm going back to music and we're not going to talk about this anymore. Someone with the handle LMJIXHS wrote this yesterday. Free speech is dead in America and on this channel. Paul has deleted all comment that Paul doesn't agree with, that doesn't fit his agenda. He's a religious hypocrite. You, Paul, need a checkup. Don't want political comment? Then don't have political video. And then he followed it up with a second one. You talk a load of BS. You're a religious hypocrite. So, you know what I did? I went back and watched every single one of the videos that I made. All 5 of them. I watched them all the way from beginning to end. And you know what I discovered? Not once in any of my videos did I mention or say anything political. The thrust of every single video I made was the spiritual battle that's going on in the world today. I never brought up any political ideas. I never mentioned any political figures except for the man who was assassinated. I never said anything about the Republican Party. I never said anything about the Democrat Party. I never said anything about the right or the left except for one thing, which I will get to in a minute. You're a liar. That's what you are, is a liar. Because you are claiming things about me that are false. And I won't allow it. So I'm going to tell you what's going to happen after I finish this video. You're going to be banned. And every single person who talks like you is going to be banned right along with you. I am sick and tired of it. I'm not putting up with it anymore. You guys came to my channel, which was a peaceful channel, and you stirred up all sorts of hatred and vitriol for no reason whatsoever, because you obviously didn't pay any attention to what I said. From beginning to end, my entire substance of every video I made was not political, it was spiritual. I spoke constantly about the battle that's going on in the world between good and evil. And you are on the evil side. So get out and stay out. All right? I'm going to show you what I said. I went back and listened to my videos and I took some notes. This is a direct quote from the very first video I made that was after the I played the Stevie Knight video. Quote, it was a crucial point in the future of our country, and how we proceed from here will determine the future of our country. All right? I'm going to put the link to that in the description of this video so you can see that I said exactly what I said. I talked about the spiritual battle, and I criticized both sides of the aisle, and I actually said, quote, this is not political, it's spiritual, and yet you sit here and tell me it was political. You're a liar. I played Adam Calhoun's plea to go after people and harm them with no consequences, and I said, this is crazy. I said I was angry at the devil. Again, I said it's both sides of the aisle. In the influencers video, I said that people who celebrate Charlie's death are evil. They've been taken over by Satan. When the assassin pulled the trigger, he killed 2 people. He killed Charlie Kirk that day, but he killed himself as well. I mourn for that man. He's 22 years old, and he's going to go die in the death chamber because of what he did. What a waste. What an absolute waste. And all because the devil influenced him into doing this stupid thing. Social media has made it acceptable to behave and to say things that you would never do in public. It's become a cesspool of hatred and vitriol. My channel is a place where good people from every country on earth, with every religion known, with every skin color you can imagine, can come together and enjoy good music together. We don't celebrate our differences here. We celebrate our mutual love of music. I have people in the comments asking me, oh, please tell me you didn't vote for Trump. Please tell me. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for. I'm not going to tell you what my politics are, because that is not what my channel is about. It's about the music. It's about enjoying good music and getting away from all the hatred and the vitriol and the absolute chaos of the world. That's what it's about. And the people that come to my channel and subscribe know that. That's why they come here. I don't like you people that come in here and swoop in and tell all your lies and say all your baloney. Get out. Go away. Don't come back. And if you persist, I guarantee you, I'll ban you. I'll ban every single one of you that comes in here and talks like that. There will be no mercy, because I'm not going to allow you to destroy my channel. I talked about this in another video. I'm 78 years old now. I've been around for a little while. I've seen a few things in my life, and I'm going to talk about them because maybe some of you are not aware of them. Maybe you were born after these events occurred, or you just don't, you didn't get history taught to you in school, so you don't know that they happened. In 1960, a group called the SDS was formed, and they put out a statement called the Port Huron Statement. All of this is on the web. You can look it up for yourself. They criticized domestic and international U.S. policies and called for nonviolent civil disobedience. That was in 1960. In 1963, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference went to Birmingham, and a man named Bull Connor, appropriately named, who was, I don't know what his title was, but he was in charge of the police or whatever, attacked peaceful black protesters protesting for their rights with hoses and dogs. I was appalled. I actually asked my parents, I was watching it on TV, and I asked my parents, is this in America? I could not believe that something like this could happen in America. Why would they be doing this? It absolutely blew my mind. That was my awakening to what was going on, because I had grown up, I lived in a suburb. I grew up in an all-white neighborhood. Everybody in my church was white. I didn't know anything about the black struggle. I hadn't learned about it by that point. When I went to college, we had 2 semesters, and then we had what we called an interim period, which was, I think it was about 6 weeks, where we could do whatever we wanted to do. Some students who were majoring in accounting would go work as an intern at Ernst & Young in Minneapolis. My college was in Decorah, Iowa, Luther College. And some students would take courses in things that were outside their major that they couldn't fit into their normal schedule. I decided I wanted to go home and stay home after the Christmas holiday. So I created a plan. I went into downtown Washington, D.C., and I met with a group of parents, and I told them that I wanted to set up a sports program for their children, because I knew at that point in time that a lot of families, both mother and father, were working, trying to make enough money to pay the bills. And so I said, I want to set up a sports program for you. I'll never forget it. We met in somebody's basement, and I was the only white person there. And all these people are looking at me and expecting me to say something. And I explained my vision, what I wanted to do, and they passed a hat. And they collected money. I don't remember how much, but to me it was significant. I started that program. And then I thought, well, gosh, if these people who are struggling to get by can give me money, surely I can get a lot of money from my church. So I asked my pastor, can I speak at the Sunday service and explain the program and ask for donations? And he said, sure, no problem. So I did. I got less than I got from the black parents. That was a crisis moment for me. I could not understand it. Then some of my friends started to come up to me. You're not going to go down there, are you, among them? And I said, what are you talking about? Well, it's dangerous down there. I said, I don't feel any danger at all. What are you talking about? Well, but they're black. And that's when I realized, my God, what is wrong with these people? Do they not see these people as human? I was just stunned. I guess I was just very naive. I didn't understand how the world was at that time. But I grew up fast. And it caused me a crisis in my faith because I thought, if these people are Christians, I don't want to be a part of that. And so I drifted away from the faith for a while. Things later on, which I'm not going to make this so long that I tell you all the whole story, but things later on led me back to God, and I began to study the Bible in earnest. And the reason I'm not affiliated with any church is because I find that most churches are filled with hypocrites. And I don't like hypocrites. So, that was 1963. That was a turning point for me. That same year in November, John F. Kennedy, our president, was assassinated because he didn't stand for the things that the assassin stood for. In 1964, they had riots in Harlem, and that was just the beginning. There were riots all over the nation because blacks were sick and tired of being treated like less thans, and rightfully so. In 1965, Rosa Parks got onto a bus in Birmingham, Alabama, and she refused to move to the back. They required blacks to sit in the back of the bus so the whites could sit in the front. This stuff, when I talk about it, it just seems crazy to me. I don't understand it. I really don't. What is wrong with people? That her actions caused her to have to go to jail, but it also triggered a 381-day bus boycott. Basically, the black people in Birmingham, Alabama, which was a significant percentage of the population, depended on the bus to get to work because they couldn't afford cars. So when they stopped using the bus, it started losing money big time. And after 381 days, they finally relented and they changed their policy, showing that you can make changes without violence in America. It might be hard, it might be difficult, it might be irritating, it might be frustrating, but it still can be done. "1967 was called the Long Hot Summer. There were multiple riots all across the nation. Blacks were fed up and they weren't going to take it anymore, and rightfully so. Riots are not the answer, but when you push people hard enough and long enough, at some point, they're going to push back. And that's my fear now. I see people on the right talking about pushing back. And it's just not right. It's just not right. That's not the way to solve the problem. We've been here before. In April of 1968, Martin Luther King was assassinated for his beliefs. 2 months later, Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated for his beliefs. The following year, the Weather Underground was established. Oh, let me tell you about the Weather Underground. Yeah. They caused a riot in Chicago in October of '69. In 1970, they declared war against the United States. They killed 3 police officers in a bank robbery. That same year, the Black Liberation Army bombings happened, and police officers and white people were killed. In 1974, Fuerzas Armadas de Liberación Nacional, the FALN, was formed in Puerto Rico. They conducted a series of bombing attacks, which was over 130. In No Place to Hide, Larry Graywall explains that the Weathermen actually believed that they would be successful in overthrowing the U.S. government, and that with the help of the Cubans, Chinese, Russians, and North Vietnamese, they would occupy America. Americans would have to be, quote, re-educated in camps, similar to what the communists did in Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and other countries they had taken over. Here is one of the chilling revelations Larry Graywall made in the film. I asked, well, what is going to happen if those people we can't re-educate, they're die-hard capitalists? And the reply was they'd have to be eliminated. And when I pursued this further, they estimated they would have to eliminate 25 million people in these re-education centers. And when I say eliminate, I mean kill. 25 million people. I want you to imagine sitting in a room with 25 people, most of which have graduate degrees from Columbia and other well-known educational centers, and hear them figuring out the logistics for the elimination of 25 million people, and they were dead serious. You know what all these groups had in common? They were all Marxists. After reviewing my video, I've decided to add this addendum, which I will insert in the proper place, because I really need to mention this. I talked about Marxism and how it was involved, how all these groups were Marxist. But what I forgot to mention, and which I'm bringing up now, is that the purpose of Marxism is to replace God with the state. In other words, instead of depending on God for your sustenance, instead of depending on God for your well-being, instead of depending on God for your happiness, you depend on the state. That's what Marxism is about. It's about replacing God with the state. It's Satan's government. Its entire purpose is to destroy God. I don't care if you believe that or not. You know what socialism is? It's the gateway to Marxism. When you get to Marxism, that's when the killing starts. You get killed for wrongthink. That's what Charlie Kirk was killed for. I talked about this in the last video that I made, that there is no such thing as hate speech, and I mean that. 110% mean it. There is only speech. Just because you don't like what someone says does not make it hate speech. Hate speech is speech you hate. That's what it is. And not everybody hates that speech. I'm sick and tired of seeing posts on my comments, in my comments section, about how Charlie Kirk was this and Charlie Kirk was that and Charlie Kirk was his other thing. I'm gonna ban you for that. I'm sick and tired of it. Charlie Kirk was a decent Christian man who went to college campuses and spoke to college students. And he allowed them to debate him. He gave them a microphone, and when people would boo them, he would tell them, please be quiet, let this person speak. He was not filled with hate, he was filled with love. Just as I am. And I will not put up with it anymore. I'm sick and tired of it. Go spew your hatred and lies somewhere else. This is the last I'm going to say on this subject. I'm not going to make any more videos about it. I'm not going to talk about it. We're going to return to the purpose of my channel, which is to do music. And I hope to God I never have to come back here after another assassination and do this all over again. The people on my channel are all good people from all over the world, and they deserve to have peace and quiet and tranquility and enjoy music and not have to listen to all of the garbage that the internet spews. That isn't why my channel exists, and it isn't why it's going to exist. If you're one of those people, get out now before I ban you. I'm not being a hypocrite. I'm taking a stand. I refuse to tolerate evil on my channel, period. And stop lying about what I said, because I didn't say a single thing in any of my videos that was political, period. It was all about spiritual matters, because that's what my focus is. If you don't know that, you haven't watched my channel. I pray in every single video. Well, I did till I made those. I wasn't in a praying mood then. I pray after every single video for the people on my channel. I don't ask God, make sure they're white, make sure they're black, make sure they're Indian, make sure they're red, make sure they're green. I could care less about the color of someone's skin. Make sure they're not lesbians. I don't do that. My next door neighbors are lesbians with children. I love them. I don't hate people. And I don't spew hatred. And if you say I do, you're a liar. I'm fed up with it. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm in a small way, I'm sorry that I made those videos, but in another way I'm not, because what I said on them was righteous and true. I'm sorry about what it ended up being was an attraction for all the flies and the pests and the gnats on the internet who can't stand to have anybody say anything truthful without attacking it. If you can't tell I'm fed up by now, you haven't got the message, but you'll get it when I ban you. I'm not putting up with it anymore. It's my channel. We're going to do music. We're not going to have hatred here. Enough said. I hope you got the message. Because if you hang around here and you start spewing that stuff anymore, you're out. You're gone. Bye-bye. This is the Vietnam era vet, out.